normal cost. I almost forgot. I got so enthralled speaking about circulation vein support for healthy legs. I almost forgot our other Today Special, which is our Glucosamine and Chondroitin. Of course, those words are synonymous with joint health. They're the structural molecules that are absolutely critical for the healthy maintenance of our joint tissue. Of course, our product, like every product we make, is objectively different. We make sure we actually use glucosamine sulfate, the sulfate form, which is actually critical to the benefits of glucosamine, but most products don't. They use glucosamine hydrochloride because it's so much cheaper to use. So our product gives you the perfect levels of the perfect forms of glucosamine and chondroitin, does so in a fashion that will not upset your stomach. It's an ultrafine powder in a capsule. You will not find a glucosamine or chondroitin product like mine anywhere in the marketplace. This is, of course, best pricing of the year because it's a Today Special. And it's a perfect partner with our circulation vein support because this is the time of year when I think we try to do the best things we can in order to have a different year, a year where we might be more active, a year where we'll be healthier, a year where we get more enjoyment out of experiencing our lives. And it's hard to experience our lives in a really positive way if we struggle with our mobility, if we struggle with the comfort of our feet, ankles, and calves, or our joints. So that's where glucosamine and chondroitin really is a perfect partner with the circulation and vein support for healthy legs. Glucosamine and chondroitin have been well established in terms of their structural role, really the bricks and mortar of our vital joint tissue. What really is a question about those ingredients isn't whether you should take them or not, but whether you're getting them in the right form, whether you're getting them in a fashion that will be easy to swallow, won't upset your stomach, and is in the actual molecular form that's going to deliver benefits. And that's what we do. We ensure that the glucosamine and chondroitin you're getting will deliver the benefits that the science has promised. Otherwise, why bother taking the product if it isn't in the form that was used in the positive clinical research? And that's what we do. We follow the science just as we do with our circulation and vein support for healthy legs. Both products, best pricing of the year, best pricing, in fact, that we've ever had on those products. So enjoy. And again, happy 2018.
Thank you, Andrew. And of course, you can start calling right now. Andrew's going to be back live at 11 p.m. But if you want to visit hsn.com or if you want to give us a call and pre-order your Today's Special, you are more than welcome to do so. Don't miss Andrew coming up tonight at 11. And then, of course, kicking off a brand new day tonight at midnight with not one,